Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of My Scrappy Ideas. Today I have a sketch from Sketch and Scrap. It's sketch number 82 for their June challenge that I'll be doing. And this layout, I have to tell you, I worked on it, I tore it apart, I worked on it, I tore it apart. For some reason, I am just really struggling right now with scrapbooking along with time, and I just have so much on my mind and my plate and all of that. And so I don't know if that was part of it. I'm not sure, but it kind of had a funny way of evolving. But in the end, I'm really happy with it. So I pretty much followed the sketch all the way through. I can't think of much that I really changed up. It's really minor what I changed. And so the paper that I'm using is from my stash, and so that blue wood grain is from Fancy Pants Memories Captured, and the orange with the polka dot on the photo mat is from that collection as well, and everything else is from the Fancy Pants True Friends collection. So I had the 6x6 pad left, a lot of the label stickers, and just a lot of odds and end papers, and I'm trying to get everything kind of finished off. I've got quite a few collections that I'm just down to the ends of, and I don't really want to put them back into my stash. I'd like to just finish them off, so I'm really concentrating this month on finishing off a lot of collections. So you'll notice like this cluster here that I have, it's kind of already put together, and that's because it came from the previous layout where I had worked on it. And so if you follow me on Facebook, you heard me rant about this layout just a little bit. I had it all put together, and I just did not like it. It really looked horrible. But I was using some yellow background paper that went with the Fancy Pants True Friends collection. So originally that's all of the paper that I had was just Fancy Pants True Friends, because I had like 3 or 4 full sheets and then my 6x6 pad. And I'm not a fan of yellow, and so I kept thinking, well, I'm just struggling because it's yellow and that's not my kind of paper, and you know, whatever. And so I had kept going with it. And then when I pretty much had the layout put together, I'm like, no, this is just wrong. I hate the yellow. I don't know what it is, but again, I don't know if it's just because I'm so kind of scattered right now trying to get everything done or what. So I just left it sitting, and I had put on Facebook that if it was not better by the morning, it was coming apart. And I'm not sure I've ever taken a layout apart. Normally it's good enough that it can go on my layout. It doesn't bother me. But this one was bad enough. It's like I could not put that in my album. So the next morning my husband came in, and he was kind of talking to me before he went out to work, and I made a comment about that I was going to tear the layout apart and redo it, and he was shocked because he knows that's not something that I do. And so he walks over and kind of look at it, and I'm like, what is wrong with it? And he's like, well, the color's wrong. And I was just flabbergasted because he doesn't, I mean, he enjoys my layouts, but he doesn't know anything about scrapbooking or anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. But why is it wrong? Why is it bothering me? Because I thought, you know, his is not yellow. That's not what it is. So it's something else is going on. And he's like, well, it just brings out the grass in the background of the picture. And the pictures are so dark, that's all you see now is the grass. So you don't even see us. I'm like, you're so right. And so it was like a light bulb moment. It's like, duh. It's not just yellow, it was sabotaging my photos, because these photos are really dark. They were taken under a porch, or on the porch. It was a bright sunny day. This is 23 years ago. So I had a really cheapy camera and just not very good photos. So I'm like, okay, well, what color does it need to be, because I'm redoing it. And so he's like, well, I don't know, but it just needs, you know, more of the other colors. So I had a kind of orangey red photo mat already from the other collection, because I was trying to bring out the color for my husband's shirt. But my son's in white with just a little bit of blue, and then he's on this gray bull, bouncy bull. And so I decided to just start playing off that. So I pulled out some blue, and that's where the blue wood grain came from. I ended up switching out the red polka dot for the one that I had, because it was a lot darker, and so it was really drawing attention to it. So I did the little bit lighter, and then there's going to be my title over the top of it, so it won't be quite as honking right now. And then on the sketch, it had stars for the embellishments. And I had some blue stars and everything, but I wasn't quite liking it. And then I decided to look through my punches, and I have these cloud punches. And I thought, well, that would work with the layout since it's outside and everything. And I had this really light gray patterned paper, so it really pulled out. I know it's hard to tell in the video, but it helps pull out the bull and my son's outfit and stuff to bring more attention to it. So I punched the clouds and I'm going to pop dot those up, and I was so much happier with the layout now. And so now I'm just pulling things off the sticker sheet. I love the little word phrases, and I have quite a few left, so I thought, well, I'm just going to pull all those out and kind of pop around the layout just for some fun, and then I'm going to start working on a title. So when it came time to come up with the title, I had one of the phrase stickers that said happiness, and so originally I had it, you can see it right here, and I was kind of pulling it around, and I thought, well, I could use that in my title and then use the alphabet stickers. So I spent quite a bit of time, again, just on the title, and you'll see that I had the word bouncing in blue over here to the side, and that's what originally that I was going to try to use. In fact, it got on the layout. So again, I'm back into, I did all of this title work, and it just wasn't right. It was not pleasing to the eye for me. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. And so this layout, I'm just going to chalk it up to the most challenging layout I have done probably all year long. I'm not sure. Well, I know I'm just kind of frazzled right now. I need a vacation after my vacation. Does anybody ever feel like that? So yeah, I've got a couple of more months and I get to go on vacation again, but I need a break. I think I'm just going to take a day off sometime, but I'm going to have to leave home because I always wind up back in my studio working, and which I need to be, but I need to just take a break too, I think. But thankfully I've done a layout since this one, and it was much better. It went very well, and I'm really happy with it. And like I said, again, this layout, I'm really happy with it in the end, but it was just a struggle. Like I said, 2 days to do a one-page layout. That's insane. Totally unnecessary. So I'm just, while I'm thinking about that title and trying to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use what I had because I'm not happy with it or change it. So I pop dotted up the clouds, and now I'm back to this layout. And these letters, the small ones are from the Fancy Pants True Friends sticker sheet, and then the larger ones are from the Simple Stories Snap alphabet. And I love those alphabets. It comes with like six or eight, can't remember, different colors of alphabets. I think it's 6. And they're larger, so I like playing with those. So the bouncing is the Simple Stories ones that are in the gray, and then the happiness is in the blue. So I ditched the happiness sticker because I really needed bigger letters. It was too small, it just wasn't working really well. And I swapped out the is for the little block letters that were on the Fancy Pants sticker sheet as well. I did have the round ones, and they were quite small, and I wasn't really happy with those. So I think I'm getting pretty much satisfied with where everything's going, so I decided to pull out my enamel dots, and I'm just kind of using the 3 different colors that are in my layout, kind of the orange and the teal and the gray, and just kind of putting those around just for some more interest and some texture, because I really didn't have much going on besides the paper. I wanted to do some stitching on the background and stuff, but as long as I messed with this layout, I ended up not doing it. And the little strips of paper at the bottom, I love this technique on layouts, and it's really cute if you'll do a stitching line through the middle of it and then just kind of pull up the edges. So that was my intention as well. And I may go back and do it now that it's been a day or two, and you know, I'm through with the frustration, and I'm happy with the layout. But that's really a cute technique if you want to work with this sketch, is just pull that sewing machine out or hand stitch and stitch through the centers of those. And then I ended up, I just did my journaling. I had some of the word stickers through there, and I ended up pulling one and putting it to the other side of the cloud, the one that says me and you, and just doing my journaling on the top of those strips, and then it kind of ran into the rest of the paper. For the journaling, I had quite a bit to say, so I didn't really have room to just keep it onto the strips like the sketch suggested. And I had thought about doing it on word strips and typing it up, but I decided just to write it over the top, and so you'll see that at the very end. I believe I'll put some still shots and stuff in there so that you can see that. But I had quite a bit to say about the day, and especially since the pictures weren't quite as clear and you can't see as much, but it's really a funny story about my son and just his personality of him and him bouncing. And then when I got to this, I was still like, all the white space, I was really having trouble with it. So I decided to get my mist out and kind of splatter some. And I ended up going just a little bit too overboard. It was just going crazy this day. I wanted just a few dots, but it was going everywhere under the sun except for where I wanted it. So I ended up getting more on there than probably what I really, really wanted. But again, the layout's done. I'm fairly happy with it. I'm definitely more happy than what I was. And I'll be proud to put it in my album. So that's all that matters. I don't think anybody's going to judge me for my splatters anyways. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. You can see all of the links and stuff on my blog at tiggerscrapplace.blogspot.com. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you real soon. Bye.